65192. Want to send a text? AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch there. Thanks to Grobert McStumpkins. Grobert McStumpkins. I want to try that again. I tripped over it a little bit. Thanks for helping out. Cavaliers.
Say it with your chest.
I'm sorry?
Say it with your chest.
Grobert McStumpkins.
There you go.
Cavs are in Boston tonight. Play the Celtics. Who plays for the Celtics now? Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
All right. Double J. 7:30 tonight on MMS is where you hear that. Cavs Live pregame begins at 7 o'clock. I'm fascinated. I can't get enough. I was watching this show. They had the Jesus Christ lizard on it. And they call it that because it can walk on water. There's a band when I was in college at home in Chicago called the Jesus Lizard. A guy named David Yao fronted that band, and boy, they were wild. I don't even know if they're still around. But, and I don't know if they get royalties off of this animal. But if you, of course, great Soundgarden, Jesus Christ pose, but if you haven't seen this Jesus Christ lizard running across the water, well, it's a wild scene, man.
Displays one of the most spectacular capabilities in nature. A true superpower. This flat-footed reptile is so fast and so light that it can run across the surface of the water at speeds as much as 5 feet per second.
5 feet per second. The reason that it's of concern is because it's a very invasive species.
How many feet does it have?
4.
Okay. So how's it doing 5 feet per second?
I think they're talking about distance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to specify.
The whole finger? No, the one right next to it.
That's so good.
The Jesus Christ lizard down there in Florida. Listen, there's one thing they love in Florida. It's Jesus. It eats lizards that are native to Florida. It eats all kinds of things. They're worried that it's going to transmit diseases because that's what you have to be worried about now all the time. There was a girl in Cambodia that got avian flu. They were worried about that. We are not prepared for what's coming next. You see what the pandemic did to this country. I don't mean globally. I mean this country. How people lost their goddamn minds over that. We are not at all prepared. We're not prepared infrastructure-wise. We're not prepared healthcare-wise. We're not prepared culturally for what's coming next. There's going to eventually be back-to-back pandemics. And, I mean, COVID had like a very, very low mortality rate. Bird flu, if that starts jumping to bird flu has like a 60% fatality rate. So look at what something that had a very single-digit fatality rate. Look what that did to this country. Nearly wrecked the economy, destroyed the healthcare system. I mean, if bird flu started jumping among people, this would tear ourselves apart. It will shut down the world. Because there won't be any more healthcare anymore. It'll gut everything.
A hard reset. That's what's going to be.
So that'll be fun. Hey, Gaylord.
Hi, Mr. Cox and Mr. Squire. I'm just checking in, let you know I'm still kicking. Being a 68-year-old man, you never know. You're on the last few years of your life, and you're helping me to enjoy it.
When is your
day.
Gaylord? You might have another 30 years in you. I don't know what you're talking about. You could live. You could be hale and hearty for another few decades.
Well, you know what? Listening to you guys, you keep me going. So
that's what they pay us for.
But it all might end on March 17th too if you come out to the Clevelander with us.
What? When's your birthday, Gaylord?
November 3rd.
And how old would you be?
I will be 69.
Nice.
So,
all right.
I've checked in with you guys 3 or 4 different times.
Sure.
And I'm out here in the Wellington area, and I have a nice piece of property, about 10 acres. And I cut the grass in the summer, and I put my headphones on, and I listen to you guys while I'm cutting grass. And hey, thank you for all of my enjoyment and my laughs and giggles. My neighbors think I'm nuts when I'm out there cutting grass. They wonder what I'm laughing about. But anyway,
I know what you're listening to, and I'm still wondering.
Yeah. You could hand your headphones to your neighbors and they wouldn't understand either. So that's okay. We're all in the same boat.
Hey, I'm in tune with you guys. I love everything that you do.
Wow.
And can you put me on your map as your old man bureau chief?
Old man bureau chief. Well, if that's how you'd like to be listed, I mean,
yeah, as in Wellington.
you
area.
can.
That way-
Here's what I'll do, Gaylord. I'll make you a brother bureau chief with Craig, who is our bureau chief in Wellington, New Zealand.
Hey, there we go.
There you go. We're cutting
That's
corners
cool.
already.
Yeah, well, thank you, sir. And honestly, I love you guys. Even Mary when she shows up.
Shots fired from Gaylord out there in Wellington.
Well, I love you guys. I've seen you out there. I bought tickets to your comedy stuff. So, yeah, I'm alive and kicking. So
Well,
thank
good to hear
you
from you.
so
All
much.
right. Thank you, Gaylord. We appreciate
I
you
love
checking
you
in.
all.
All right. Thank you, pal.
Thanks for having Cody on, too, so much. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We aim to please. There you go. Thank you, Gaylord. He got to it at the tail end, Cody.
That's okay.
He worked it in.
He was talking me up. I'm like, you're just blowing smoke up my ass while I'm while he was talking on the phone. And then I was like, I'll just put you through. And then he switched the whole game up. I thought he was about to be like, listen, he needs a raise. He is too consistent. But nope, none of that.
Poundcake put him on because he thought Gaylord was going to extol Cody's virtues about how overly reliable he is. He's too reliable.
Too reliable.
So Gaylord's out there in Wellington. Was that Lorain County? Where's Wellington?
Yep.
That's
That's
Medina way?
That's my second home.
Wellington is your second home.
It's underneath Oberlin. I used to spend pretty much summers there.
Did you ever meet a guy named Gaylord?
Never.
Were you ever called a Gaylord?
No, I was in the closet. Severely in the closet back then.
Severely in the closet. So in much the same way that Poundcake is now currently overly reliable, he was overly in the closet back then. He was overly closeted, and now he's overly reliable.
Mr. Cox, Peter from Pittsburgh. Tesla, where is the Batmobile car? All right, Tesla. Very expensive car. I parked my car in a very bad neighborhood because that's kind of my kink. I want shields on my car. In the original Batman, he says, shields. I would love to purchase a Tesla that has shields. Let's make it happen. Put it out there. Love the show. Keep it up.
There's Pete in Pittsburgh, the connective tissue there, of course, Pittsburgh, Michael Keaton's hometown. So maybe next time he's there, we can hook him up with Pete in Pittsburgh. You know, Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman in the new Flash movie. They had the commercial during the Super Bowl. I couldn't be more excited. I can give a fat frog's ass about the Flash. I'm sorry. Hashtag not my Flash, Ezra Miller. My Flash was and shall always be John Wesley's ship. Thank you very much. But Michael Keaton coming back as the Batman?
Is that the Flash from the 90s version?
Yeah.
Had like a velour Flash suit.
Look like the Tick.
Still like that show a lot, though.
Mm-hmm. Farty Batman, of course. That is track 3 on the Alan Cox Show. Farts in Songs collection. Along with Blues Traveler. I believe this is track 7, right? The Run Around with Farts. Yeah. Hey, Brian.
Yes. Alan.
What's going on, Brian?
Hey, I just heard you're having a metal show here this Saturday.
Yeah! Well,
MMS.
March the 11th, we will premiere it, yes.
I just wonder if there's like a link or something I could share in Facebook, because I got a bunch of old metalheads that I know that love to hear it.
There is
Been a
an
long
email.
time since we heard good metal.
You mean an email address to submit stuff or what?
No, he wants to share it when it happens. So you're just going to want to share WMMS.com/listen on the 11th at 10 p.m. And they can just listen on the app, or they can listen live on the show. On the radio.
What he said, yeah.
No, that's all right. I'll check it out.
And I'll be
there.
I'll be posting
Wait.
I'll be posting the playlists week to week, probably on the MMS Facebook page, Brian.
No, that sounds good, because, yeah, I think it's been since like 2002 since there's been a metal show on MMS, and, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I have no idea what the history of it is. I just know that as soon as I came to MMS, I told them I wanted to do one, and finally got the green light. So thank you, Brian. It's going to be next Saturday night, 10 o'clock. The show is called 2 Hours to Midnight. Me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler. We're going to be playing stuff that we dig and submissions from you guys. The email address is 2htm@wmms.com. So looking forward to it. Alan, did you see the Guardians play? He's not in the Guardians, though. A guy on the Lake County Captains named Connor Cox. It's spelled Kokx. Well, that's bending over backwards. No relation. David Cox. Kokx. Drafted by the Indians in 2021, currently with the Lake County Captains. He's from California. All right. I did not see that, but thank you. I don't have a follow-up on that, but Guardians baseball this Friday will preempt this show. It's a 3:05 first pitch from Goodyear, Arizona. The Cleveland Guardians taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Out there, 3:05 on MMS for people who are interested in that. Yes, Poundcake did say Louisville in his sports break. Not Louisville. He said Louisville.
Here's a different one.
Was it a different one?
Nope, it was the correct one. I said it wrong.
Alan, I live near Gaylord. He's great.
He seems great.
Yes.
He's like a real sweetheart.
Yeah. I mean, not to be confused with Gaylord, Ohio. Is there a town called Gaylord? I know there's Gaylord, Michigan. Is there a Gaylord? Every state's basically got the same dozen town names. Is there a Gaylord, Ohio? No, just Gaylord, Michigan.
Gaylord,
All
Michigan.
right, well,
But there's Gaylord Adams and Son Marine
in Hubbard.
Yeah.
There you go.
And there's Gaylord North Ohio Elementary School.
Mm.
So that's up in Gaylord.
Mm-hmm.
That's very confusing.
Gaylord, Michigan.
Gaylord North Ohio Elementary School in Gaylord, Michigan.
Yeah.
Why is Ohio in there?
Don't know. Buddy of mine was doing, a friend of mine who has, he's had the kind of radio career that has kept him packing his crap every 1 or 2 years and moving elsewhere, right? He's had a hard time finding his voice or something. So he has a ton of call letters on his resume, which can be a little bit of a red flag. But he's a good guy. And he did radio for a number of years in Gaylord, Michigan, until invariably he had to pack his crap and move again. You know, we talk about Poundcake getting his own gig. That's why a lot of people don't have the stomach for it, for this line of work. Because if things don't go your way, you're packing your crap every couple of years and moving to some place where you don't know anybody. And not everyone has the intestinal fortitude for that.
I might not. I don't know if I could do
I
that.
don't think you do.
I don't think I can.
I think if you did, you would have done it by now. But it doesn't mean that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Correct. And if there is a force that pushes me to do it, I would have to.
Well, that force would normally be within yourself.
Maybe I'm just not there yet.
I didn't have external forces pushing me to.
Well, I'm setting myself up to, given the circumstances yesterday, I have a car that's up and running, that is better for out of state travel.
You know it's not about your car. Stop.
I
I moved in a piece of crap.
I understand that, but I don't want to move on the other side of the U.S. I'm thinking I would like, PA, Michigan, any of the border states, West Virginia, like stuff like that, where I can.
All this smack he talked about West Virginia earlier, and now he's like, "Oh, I'd move there for a job."
Well, I'd move there for a job, but I would not.
They
be
don't
my
want
choice.
you.
Well, good. I don't want them.
They don't want you.
Why would
You
I
don't know what they want. Maybe they do want you.
I would feel
Maybe Poundcake is just what West Virginia's been looking for.
They're trying to get people to move back.
Natives,
Not
right?
move
All
out.
you need to do is engage in a very convoluted and probably illegal scheme
I gotta be illegal.
to, follow me here. This is how you pad your nest egg. You just need to engage in a very convoluted scheme to have documentation that says that not only are you a West Virginia native, but that you've lived in another state for 10 years and you're coming back. Those are the criteria for them paying people the $25,000 tax break to move back to West Virginia. I don't know if that implies that they're trying to say there was some big West Virginia brain drain. People were going other places. That's what a place like Cleveland has to contend with. Is they're like, a lot of people come to college here, but they don't stay. Probably the same in West Virginia. A lot of people go to WVU, but then they go off somewhere else. Because what are they going to do? They're not going to work in Morgantown. But radio, there's all kinds of places.
We have iHeart in West Virginia.
I'm sure we do. Well, I don't know. Probably somewhere. I bet we do.
Probably like Charleston or like
iHeartMedia in West Virginia, Parkersburg, West Virginia, Wheeling. I had a buddy that worked in Parkersburg. It's a very small market, but that's the kind of place where you kind of, get your sea legs. And they might love you there. Right? You can't rely on stereotypes. You know who Henry Louis Gates is?
No.
Henry Louis Gates is the guy, Henry Louis Gates Jr., technically. He's the guy that does that Finding Your Roots show on PBS. You ever watch that? Where he tells celebrities that their great-great-great-grandparents had slaves. That, Ben Affleck was surprised to find out that his parents had slaves. That kind of thing, where some people kind of leave embarrassed. Henry Louis Gates, he's a black man. He went to Yale and Harvard, and he's early 70s. He is born and bred West Virginia. And he loves West Virginia and, defies the stereotype of what people think about West Virginia. You could be a boon to West Virginia.
A boon?
I'm sorry?
A boon? What is a boon?
You could be a gift
Oh, okay.
to West Virginia.
I thought you were thinking like something in the Boondocks, like Boonies or something. A boon. I'm like
a Daniel Boone.
No, that's B-O-O-N-E. Boon, B-O-O-N. You could be beneficial to the mountain state. West Virginia is the only state that is completely within the Appalachian Mountains. So the mountains get really hot. What's that?
a lot of hills, a lot of mountains.
Yeah. That could be you.
Do they get snow?
Yes. I mean, anywhere east of the Mississippi, you're going to probably get snow. I mean, you know.
North of a certain point, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have to, anyway, it's a